All right, let's start this on our backs. So go ahead and bring yourself all the way down to the mat. And once you're down, let's start this with our feet on the floor. So feet a little bit wider than your hips. Lean the knees in towards center as much as you can. And this is all toward releasing back your low back to the floor as much as possible. And then bring your arms out to your sides. Palms open toward the ceiling. And maybe the hands are up past your head or maybe closer to your hips, but whatever you like. Just keep the shoulders down and let your chest open up. And then just close your eyes. So just give yourself a moment to settle in here like this. Let your mind quiet down. And then when you're ready, just start to deepen your breathing here. So with the inhales, draw in as much air as you can. Try to fill up your lungs. Hold on to all that breath at the top for just a moment. And then when you exhale, constrict the back of your throat. So slow your breath down on the way back out. And just work to make your exhales last at least as long as your inhales as you breathe. And just keep breathing like this to begin. Now when you're ready here, take a deep inhale. And then when you exhale, just open your eyes. Now keep your feet wide like this, but separate your knees. And we'll just move slowly here to begin. So with your next inhale, reach your arms long past your head. And then when you exhale, just bring your arms down to your sides. Back and forth. Inhale, reach us out long. Exhale, arms to your sides. Inhale, reach this out long. Exhale, arms down to your sides again. Inhale, reach this long. Now the exhale this time, reach forward between your knees and lift your head, lift your shoulders as well. Just hold here for a moment. Belly pulled in, low back on the floor. Keep your gaze forward here to start. And we'll go back and forth from this position. So with your next inhale, just roll this out long. And then with the exhale, curl forward. Inhale, roll this out again. Exhale, curl forward. Inhale, roll this out long. Now with the exhale, curl, but reach to the right of your legs. A little bit of a twist here. Inhale, roll this out long. And then exhale, curl to your left side. Inhale, roll this out long. And with the exhale, curl right again. Inhale, roll this out. And then when you exhale, curl left. Inhale, roll this out long. With the exhale, curl right one more time. Inhale, roll out. Exhale, curl to your left side again. Inhale, roll this out long. Now the exhale this time, just curl back into center. Head and shoulders lifted. Keep your gaze forward, stretched long through your fingertips. Take an inhale here. And then with the exhale, take hold of your knees, pull them into your chest, relax your head. And just squeeze everything down for a moment. You can pull the knees wide, maybe rock this out a little bit side to side, but just breathe here. Now if you're moving side to side, bring this back into center. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, just release your grip. Extend all four limbs up toward the ceiling. Belly pulled in, low back on the floor. Stay loose to your arms and legs. And just roll out your hands, roll out your feet, move your fingers and toes. And then straighten everything out. So reach the fingertips and toe tips toward the ceiling. Belly pulled in, low back down on the floor. And then just start to scissor the arms and legs side to side. Take it back and forth. Reverse the cross each time. And you can go through a wider range or narrow range, whatever you like. Just keep the movement smooth and consistent here. And just breathe. And then just give this a couple more rounds here. Bring all 4 limbs into center, extend up high. And then go ahead, bring your arms to your sides. Bring the left foot down to the floor, but keep the right leg lifted. So with that right leg extended, stack the ankle above the hip. And if you need to bend the knee, it's fine, but straighten that leg as best you can. And then lift your head, lift your shoulders, reach high through both arms. And we're going to take this back and forth, reaching one arm at a time. And I want you to work this as a twist. Reach from your shoulders rather than just your hands. Let's take it back and forth, starting with the right hand on my count. 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. And on 1, keep reaching up through that left shoulder. Keep breathing here. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, just release for a moment, bring everything down. And we're going to take it to the other side. So right foot stays down, left leg high. And this time again, with the extended leg, keep the ankle stacked over your hip. Straighten that leg as best you can. Now lift your head, lift your shoulders, reach high through both arms here. And back and forth, starting with the left hand this time. 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1. And on 1, keep reaching through that right shoulder. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, release this. Bring everything back down. Now, once you come down, just keep your feet on the floor, hands behind your head. Now, interlace your fingers, keep your palms open, elbows wide. And just bring all that down to the floor. So the elbows are down, the shoulders are down, and keep your chest open like this. We're going to take this through a version of a supine twist. So draw both knees into your chest, squeeze the legs in. Now keep the knees bent like this. Sink the knees down to the right side and go as far as you like, as long as you can keep your left shoulder down. And then bring your knees up through center. And twist to the left side. Let your legs sink over here. Bring it back through center. Let the knees sink to the right. Keep both shoulders on the floor. And then come back to center. And let the knees sink down to the left side. Now one more time, bring this through center. Let the knees sink right. Now you go as low as you like. Maybe the right leg comes all the way down, long as your left shoulder's on the floor. Just feel a twist. If you want to take it further, extend that left leg further out to the side. And then go ahead, switch this out. Bring the knees through center. Let the legs sink to the left. Maybe the left leg even comes down. Right shoulder still on the floor. Maybe extend that right leg further out to the side and just feel that twist. And then go ahead, bring this back into center. Take an inhale. And with your exhale, just bring your feet to the floor. Keep the arms as they are. And we're setting this up for a variation of bridge. So still with your shoulders down, your elbows down, keep your gaze up high. And see if the feet are about hips width distance apart. Pull the heels in close enough to your seat that you can flatten your low back as much as possible while you're there. And then we'll take it up and down from here. So with an inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips, bring the weight to your shoulders. And with the exhale, just roll your spine back down. Inhale, press your hips up high. Exhale, roll this down again. Inhale, lift your hips. And then with the exhale, lower. Inhale, press this up high. And then with the exhale, roll this back down. Now one more time. With an inhale, lift your hips and stay lifted here. Now as you hold this, keep your glutes squeezing, your hips pressing high, keep the shoulders grounded. Now if you can take it further, pressing your toes, lift your heels high up off the floor, keep them lifted here. Now we're still going to lower and lift. Give it a try doing this just on your toes with the heels still high. So take an inhale while you're up. And then with the exhale, just roll your spine back down. Inhale, lift your hips again. And then with the exhale, lower. Inhale, press your hips high, try to stay on your toes. Exhale, roll this back down. Inhale, lift up one more time and just hold this here. Now keep the weight on the shoulders, keep your glutes squeezing, your hips pressing high. And just reverse the position of your feet. So bring your heels down, lift your toes up off the floor. And then take it further. Try to drag the heels toward your shoulders, press the hips higher still, and just breathe with this. Take an inhale. And then with the exhale, just roll this down. Now once you come down, bring your knees to your chest, bring your hands to your knees, squeeze everything in. And then as you're squeezing, curl into this. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, get your nose close to your knees. And then once you're ready from here, use this curled up shape. Roll yourself forward to a seat. And then once you're up, just set the feet in front of you about hips width distance apart, hands behind the shoulders about shoulder width. We're going to stretch the shoulders here. Now I want you to rotate your fingers back so they point toward the back edge of the mat. And then start walking the hands back and toward each other at the same time. And if you're going to go to the extreme, you're going to touch the pinky fingers together. Now keep the arms as straight as you can. And if you really make it back to the extreme, you're not going to be able to bend into your elbows at all. Go ahead and back off from that just a little bit. But flatten your hands, spread your fingers wide, grip the floor. Pull your chest forward and keep your chest open. And then just twist your lower body. Fold your knees over to the right, but keep your chest facing forward. And then knees to the left side. And just keep taking this back and forth. Now as you're moving like this, keep your sternum pulling forward and just feel that stretch through the front of the shoulders moving into the chest. And then bring the knees back into center when you're ready. Walk the hands back in. And once you can release your hands from the floor, just shake your hands out, roll your shoulders a little bit. And then when you're ready here, cross at the ankles, roll forward your hands, find all fours. Now once you're in all fours, just move around. Stretch your hands, stretch your fingers, let your shoulders and hips move side to side. Just feel this out, loosen up your spine. And then bring this into center when you're ready. We're going to take this into the hands and into the wrists a little bit more thoroughly. So looking down at your hands, keep the palms facing the floor. And one by one, rotate your hands. Fingertips out to the side. Try to point your fingertips in toward your knees, but come as far in that rotation as you can. You don't have to go all the way. But set your hands flat, spread your fingers out wide, grip the floor. So keep your hands tense and try to even press the blood out of your fingertips. And just hold on to that tension here. Now if this is enough, just stay with this. If you can take it further, we're going to add on a little bit of movement from the lower body. So keep your knees bent, but lift your right leg so the sole of the foot's toward the ceiling. Now open the right hip, right foot goes to the left. Try to reach the big toe down to the left side. And then square your hips and bring the right knee down. Keep gripping the floor with your fingers. Lift your bent left leg, sole of the foot toward the ceiling. And then open this up. Left foot goes right, big toe reaching down. Square your hips back to center. Set the left knee down and take it to the side. Right leg lifts. Keep the knee bent. Open up your hip. Right foot goes over to the left. And then bring it back to center. Square your hips and set the right knee down. You're still gripping the floor. Lift that bent left leg. Open up the hip. Left foot over to the right. Back to center. Bring that left knee all the way down. One more time. Lift your bent right leg. Open up the hip, reach that right foot left as much as you can. Square your hips, come back to center, and then set the right knee down. One more time, lift your bent left leg. Open up the hip, reach that big toe down and to the right. Square your hips back to center, set the left knee down, and then come up onto the fingertips and walk the hands in right in front of your knees. And we'll take one more stretch for the wrist. Now, keep all your weight in your legs here to start, but make both hands into fists. 4 fingers in your palms, thumbs outside. Bring the backs of the hands to the floor. The fist is still clenched. And then press the fists into each other like you're punching one hand to the next. Now, bring yourself up towards straightening your arms. You're probably not going to straighten all the way. Just let that stretch go into the backs of the hands and up into the forearms. And you can stay here if you like. You don't have to force it. You can keep more weight on the legs, or you can lean onto your hands to make it more intense. But keep your fists clenched like this. Now, if you can take it further, just start to move. Sink your chest down low. Let the elbows go out wide. And then press back up to straight arms. And just keep taking this back and forth. Hands pressing together the whole time. And you're the one who controls the amount of pressure here. Try to keep a constant level of tension in your hands. And just breathe with this as you're moving. Now, the next time you bring your arms up to vertical or towards straight, just hold on to this here. Keep your spine pressed up. And then when you're ready, take an inhale. And with the exhale, come up onto the fingertips down to sitting on your heels and take a moment here. Shake your hands out. Loosen up your fingers. Loosen up your wrists. And then once the hands are ready, come back into all fours. And we are going to take it much more to the upper body from here. So from all fours, I want you to bring it down from the hands and onto the forearms. Now I want to take this up to dolphin this time. You got 2 choices. You can keep the forearms parallel with the palms down, or you can press your palms together. Now whichever you choose, control the position of the elbows. Keep your elbows about shoulder width underneath the shoulders here. And then when you're ready, tuck the toes underneath you. Lift your knees up off the floor, bring your hips up high, and just feel this out. Now, if you need to back off, go ahead and keep your feet toward the back of the mat. You can always hold a bend in your knees. If you need a break at any point, just bring the knees down and come back up whenever you're ready. Now, if you can take it further, walk your feet forward, get your hips as high as you can. And whatever you're doing here, pressing your hands, distribute the weight through the length of the forearms. And you can just let your head hang, but stay lifted between the shoulders. It's good enough just to be in this position. Now, if you want to take it further, I'm going to cue this toward dolphin push-ups. So for that, with an inhale, bring your chin forward toward your hands as far as you can. And then exhale, press it back, hips up high. And then bring it forward for 2. Exhale back. Forward for 3. Exhale back. Forward for 4. Now exhale back again. Forward for 5. Exhale back. Forward for 6. Exhale back. Forward for 7. Exhale back. Forward for 8. Exhale back. Forward for 9. Exhale back. And then forward for 10. Exhale back one more time and go ahead, bring your knees down. Come back to your hands, back to all fours. And just take a moment here to breathe. And then one more thing before we move on. I'm going to play with one of those, that lopsided position that I showed you at the beginning. So to start, just stay in your left hand, but bring your right forearm down to the floor. Now, right elbow stays to the side. Bring the right hand toward the center of the mat. That forearm is diagonal in relation to the rest of your body. Slide your left hand back so you can stack the elbow directly over the wrist. You want the forearm to be vertical. It's probably further back than you think you need. You can always rotate the fingers out to the side. But look at your right hand, tuck the toes of both feet. Lift your knees, bring your hips up high. And this is basically the lopsided dolphin that you're in. Now, again, like before, you can always keep your knees bent. You can take a break at any time. Just keep that left elbow pulled into your side. And if you can take it further, walk your feet further forward, get your hips up as high as you can. Now, from here, if you want to take this into movement, inhale your left leg up high. Now, with your left leg lifted, just move into a scorpion version of the shape. Bend the left knee, hang the left foot right. And we're going to keep it moving. Inhale to straighten out your left leg into a 3-leg version. And with the exhale, bring that left knee forward, touch the left arm. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, knee to left arm again. Inhale the left leg high. And then with the exhale, bring the knee to your left arm and set the knee on your left arm. Now squeeze the right leg into the left. Use your inner thighs. And then go ahead and bring this down. And come back to all fours, back to hands and knees. And we're just getting a taste of that shape from here. We're going to take it on the other side, of course. So when you're ready, bring yourself down to the left forearm. Now left elbow stays to the side. Bring the left hand to center. That forearm's diagonal. Slide your right hand back far enough that you can stack the elbow directly over the wrist. Keep that right elbow pulled into your side. Now look at your left hand. Tuck the toes of both feet. Lift your knees up and get your hips up high. And again, you can always back off from the shape. You can just stay like this, but keep that right elbow pulled in. If you can take it further, walk your feet further forward. Get your hips up as high as you can. Now to move with this, inhale the right leg up high. To take it further, bend the right knee, scorpion the shape. Hang the right foot over the left. And then with your next inhale, straighten the right leg. With the exhale, bring the right knee forward, touch the right arm. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, knee to right arm again. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, bring the knee to the right arm and keep the knee on your arm. Now use your inner thigh, squeeze the left leg into the right. And then go ahead and release this. Come down to both knees and up onto both hands. And take a couple breaths here. Now you can just stay here and breathe for a moment, take a little break. If you want another stretch before we move on, now's a good time. But whenever you're ready, tuck your toes, straighten your legs, lift your hips. And bring yourself up into downward facing dog. Now once you move in a position, take a look at how you set this up. Hands about shoulder width distance apart. Now flatten your palms. You want to feel some weight toward the base of your thumbs, keep in mind. And then sink your chest low to the floor. And even as your chest sinks down, press your hips up as high toward the ceiling as you can. And keep that long reach, that long line from the wrist creases up through the hips. Try to keep your body in one long straight line. Keep some tension in your belly around the lower ribs, hips pressing high. And if you got a lot of tension behind the legs, if you tighten the hamstrings, just keep the bend in the knees and let that go. Your hips are still lifted. You can always stay loose. You can pedal this out and move your hips from side to side. When you're ready, take an inhale. And then with the exhale, just bend the knees. Look forward. Step this to the front of the mat. Let's take a ragdoll fold. So feet about hips width distance apart, deep bend in the knees. Let your belly touch your thighs. Let your head hang. Let your spine round. And just let everything go long and loose here. Let the muscles in your neck relax. You can hang your hands to the floor. You can reach to opposite elbows. Maybe shake this side to side and deepen the shoulder just to twist and loosen up a little bit further. And then from wherever you are, just release any grip that you have. Keep the bend in the knees to begin, but then restack your spine. So slowly roll this up to standing. Bring your head up last. And then just open up your palms at your sides. Now when you're ready here, with an inhale, reach your arms up high. And then with the exhale, just bring your hands down to heart center. Now take a moment here to breathe, set intention. Let your mind clear, find your focus. Take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, just release your hands. Now with your next inhale, reach your arms up high. And then with the exhale, slowly fold this forward. So hinge at the hips, start with a straight spine. Put a little bend in your knees. Keep your core engaged, move smoothly, and then just release this at the bottom. Now with an inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips are forward to the shins, lengthen forward to the crown of your head. And then with the exhale, bring your hands to the mat, step it back to high plank. Now find your shape here, the shoulders, palms pressed to the floor. Press the floor away from you. Press your spine toward the ceiling. Keep that lift between the shoulder blades. Pull in from your belly, draw in from the ribs. Use your core to hold your hips around the shoulders and heels best you can. Now take an inhale here. And then with the exhale, slowly bring your shoulders forward as the elbows bend. Now keep your body in line, elbows pulled into your sides, and lower with control all the way down into your belly. Now once you're down, flatten your feet up behind you, hands under the shoulders, elbows into your sides. We're going to take this up and down through low cobra. So with an inhale, just peel up your head, neck, and chest. And then with the exhale, roll this back down. Inhale, peel this up again. Exhale, roll back down. Now inhale, peel up one more time. Stay lifted here. Keep the lift in your upper body, press into your feet. Take some or all the weight out of your hands. Elbows at your side, draw the shoulders back. Keep your gaze at least slightly forward. Use the muscles lining your spine. Lift your chest a little bit higher. Now I want you to keep that lift here. Take an inhale. And with the exhale, just slowly bring your hands down. And then one by one, slide your hands forward and take this into Sphinx. So forearms parallel, elbows underneath the shoulders, palms flat. Grip the floor with your fingers. Now before you take this too far into the back bend, I want you to think about lengthening your spine as much as you can. Kick your feet down, press your hips into the floor, squeeze your glutes. Now pull with your hands. Draw your chest forward between the shoulders. Crown of the head reaches toward the ceiling. And if you can take it further still, keep pulling with your hands and maybe start to lift the elbows a little bit. But work to draw your spine forward, up and out of the pelvis, even as you move further into that bend. Stay long through the upper body. Keep breathing here. Now slowly, if you straighten the arms at all, bring the elbows back down. And then roll this all the way down. Slide the hands back underneath the shoulders, elbows into your sides. Bring your chin down to the mat. And we're setting this up for upward facing dog. So with an inhale, press into your hands, straighten your arms. And pull your chest forward. Now let your chest open up, let your hips hang. Stand the tops of your feet in this position. Keep your legs active, work to lift the knees up from the mat. To take it further, kick your feet down, squeeze your glutes. Pull your hips forward to deepen and lengthen the arc all through the front. Now lift up with your arms, but lift with your shoulders as well. Make your neck as long as you can. Keep your chest pulling forward. And if this is too much on the arms or low back, you can always take cobra from the floor for vinyasas, keep in mind. Deep inhale. And with the exhale, pull your belly and bring your hips up high, back to your down dog. Pedal out for a moment, let your hips move side to side. Now once you find your down dog, give yourself a moment here, pedal things out. And then we'll take this into the next sequence. So with your next inhale, raise your right leg high, find that three-legged dog again. Lengthen it out, point the right big toe, lock the right knee, keep the hips squared, feel that lift in the glutes on the right side. Now left foot stays where it is, look forward toward your hands, but bend your left knee and just feel your hips move straight up and down. And let's take it back and forth. So press into your left foot, hop it forward. Press into your left foot, hop this back. Press into your left foot, hop forward again. Press into your left foot, hop this back. Now press into your left foot, hop this forward one more time. And then press into your left foot, hop it back. You're still in that three-legged dog. Now take it to your scorpion dog. Bend the right knee, hang the right foot over the left. Keep your hips open, shift your shoulders forward over the wrists. And then slowly bring that right foot down to the floor behind you. Sink your hips all the way down. And then with an inhale, press your hips high. Reach long for that right arm. Stay lifted here. Keep the left arm strong. Keep your glutes squeezing. Let your head fall back. Just breathe. Take a deep inhale. And with exhale, sink straight down. Right hand forward, right foot forward, back to low lunge. And then from your low lunge, we're going to take this into a horse stance. With your inhale, drop your left heel. Bring your hands to your thighs and just open to the side of the mat. Heels in, toes out. Now deep bend in the knees, thighs toward parallel with the floor, just a wide-legged squat. And get yourself down as low as you're able, ideally with the hips at the level of the knees. Now once you're ready, just settle in the center. Bring your spine as close to upright as you can. And then reach your arms up high. Palms facing, we're just going to move through the upper body here. Try to keep your hips in place. So when you're ready, just reach and lean over to the right side. Bring your gaze up high. Keep the hips where they are. Bring it through center. Reach and lean over to the left. Back through center. Take it slow. Reach and lean over to the right again. Bring it back through center. Reach and lean over to your left side. Now one more time through center. Reach and lean over to the right, hold here. And then when you're ready, bring the left hand to your left thigh. Bring the right hand to the floor flat inside the right foot. And keep that left shoulder high. Look up toward the ceiling. Keep your hips low. Now, if you had about enough of this on the legs, you can start to move up and down just for some relief, but then sink down low again, thighs toward parallel with the floor. And this could be plenty. Now, stay twisted. If you want to take it deeper, keep the right hand planted, but bring the left arm behind your back, palm face. Maybe pull the shoulder back, gaze high, good enough. If you want to take it further still, you can play with your balance. Press into the right hand, into the right foot. Maybe lift your left heel. Maybe drag that left big toe in closer, no weight on the left leg. And if you want to take it further, see about lifting your left foot, try to bring that left leg toward parallel with your mat. And this is not supposed to be easy either. Just keep the twist, keep breathing, keep that right hand on the floor. From wherever you are, take an inhale. And with the exhale, both feet down, hands to your hips. And bring yourself up all the way to standing, facing the side of your mat. Now, don't worry about lengthening out your stance anymore. We'll take this a little bit further, but bring your hands to your low back. Interlace the fingers, palms together, shoulders back, open up your chest. And then we'll take this down one side of the next. So turn toward your left leg. Bend deep in the left knee, touch your belly to your left thigh, maybe slide that right foot further out. And then bring it back up the center with both legs straight. Now turn to the right. Bend deep into the right knee, belly to the right thigh. You can slide that left foot further out if you like. And then come back up the center, straighten your legs. Now turn left again. Deep end of the left knee, sink low, and point the toes of the right foot toward the ceiling. Stay low for a moment. And then bring this back up the center. Turn right, bend deep into the right knee, stay low here. Maybe start to point the toes of the left foot toward the ceiling. And then come back up the center. One more time, turn left. Bend deep in the left knee, now stay low here. And this is good enough. You can just stay like this. Point the toes of the right foot toward the ceiling. Maybe press your knuckles toward the ceiling as well. And if you want to release your hands, you can set them down. Now, if you want to take this further, start working your balance. If you need to set the hands down, go ahead, but lift your left heel. Bring your torso toward upright. So you still got that deep end left knee, straight right leg, and maybe just keep the bind. If you can take it further, bring your hands into an archer configuration. Both hands become fists. Left fist comes behind your left ear. Elbow back like you're drawing back on a bowstring. Right arm straightens out toward the front of the mat like you're holding the bow. Now, to really get into this, open up your chest, draw the shoulder blades toward each other, keep breathing here, and press down into your feet to hold your balance. Try to keep your spine vertical best you can. Now, everybody take an inhale. And with the exhale, release this. Both hands down around the right leg. Walk your hands forward, come over to the right foot, and then pull the left knee to your chest, round your spine at the front of the mat. And we're going to take this up to balancing. When you're ready, take hold of that left knee, round this all the way up to standing. Go slow. Now, once you're up, pressing that right big toe, be sure you can keep this upright. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to your hips and line that left knee up with the right. Now, we're going to take dancer again. This time, left hand reaches to the inside edge of the left foot. Once you got that grip, kick in your hand, line up the knees. Maybe to stand tall. This could be plenty. If you're going to go further, right arm high, palm forward. Further still, kick into that left hand, and then lean forward against the tension of the kick. Now draw the left shoulder forward as that left knee lifts. Keep your gaze forward, and just take it as deep as you can still control, as you can still balance. Keep breathing here. Now with an inhale, slowly bring this all the way upright. Hands to your hips, left knee lifted for just a moment. And then set the left foot down next to the right. Now when you're ready, with an inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, fold this all the way down. Inhale, lift up halfway. And then with the exhale, set the hands. Let's take it to crow. Palms down, grip the floor, lift your heels, touch the knees to your arms. Belly pulled in, hips high to start. Look forward, lean forward, go slow. Leaning's plenty. If you can take it further, lean enough to lift your feet, big toes to touch, heels to your seat, take that to where you can. And then if you want that lopsided curl, bring it down to all fours. Now this time it's right forearm down. Keep the right elbow to the side, but bring the right hand to center. That forearm's diagonal. Slide your left hand back, elbow directly over the wrist. Keep that elbow pulled in. Look at the right hand, tuck the toes of both feet. Lift your knees, bring your hips up high. Walk your feet further forward, get the hips up as high as you can. Left knee goes onto the left arm. Use the inner thigh, squeeze the right leg toward the left. Maybe lift your right foot. And again, just take that as far as you're able here. When you're ready, go ahead, step it back, fly it back, take another Vinyasa. And once you find your down dog here, take a moment, pedal out. We'll even all that out on the other side. So with your next inhale, raise your left leg high. One more time for that three-legged dog. Lengthen out your left leg, point through the big toe. Lock the knee, feel the lift in the glutes on the left side. Keep your hips square. Look forward toward your hands. Keep the right foot where it is, but bend your right knee. Feel your hips move straight up and down. And let's take it back and forth. So press into that right foot, hop it forward. Press into your right foot, hop this back. Press into the right foot, hop it forward again. Press into the right foot, hop it back. Press into the right foot, hop forward one more time. Press into your right foot, hop this back. Now from your three-legged dog, a scorpion dog, bend the left knee, hang the left foot right, open up your hips. Now shift your shoulders forward over the wrists. Slowly bring that left foot down to the floor behind you, sink your hips all the way down. And then with an inhale, press your hips high and reach that left arm. Stay open, keep your hips lifting, keep the glutes squeezing, keep reaching through that left arm. Take an inhale. With the exhale, sink back down. Left hand forward, left foot forward into low lunge. And then from your low lunge, we'll take it to that horse stance on this side. With an inhale, drop the right heel, bring your hands to your thighs. Heels in, toes out, sink your hips down low, and you're just opening up to that wide-legged squat again. Thighs toward parallel floor, or as close as you're going to get. And bring your torso toward upright at center. Now keep your spine tall. Reach the arms up, palms facing in. And again, just try to move from the upper body here. Keep your hips in place. So reach and lean to your left side. Bring your gaze up high. Take it slow. Bring it through center. Reach and lean to the right, still looking up. Back through center. Reach and lean over to your left side again. Keep your knees wide. Bring it back through center. Reach and lean over to the right. Now one more time. Bring it through center. Reach and lean over to the left. Hold here. And then let's bring it down. Left hand to the floor, inside the left foot, right hand to the right knee. Just stay low and keep that twist. Now if you need some relief, you can bring your hips up and down, go in and out, straighten your legs. But settle in at horse with your knees wide and your hips low. Now right shoulder high, look up toward the ceiling. This is plenty right here. Keep that left hand on the floor. If you're going to take it deeper, go ahead, bring that right arm behind your back, half bind, pull the shoulder further back. And if you want to play with some balance, keep that left hand down, put the weight to your left foot, lift the right heel. Maybe drag that left big toe in. And if you can take it further, maybe lift that right leg and bring it up toward parallel with the floor. Just take it as best you can. From wherever you are, taking it. And with the exhale, bring both feet down, hands to your hips, come up to standing with both legs straight. And then once you're up, just keep the feet where they are, heels in, toes out, hands to your low back, find the grip that feels strange, opposite what you had the last time. Palms together, fingers in a lace. Pull your shoulders back, keep your chest open. And we're going to take this side to side, so turn right. Bend deeper to the right knee, belly touches your right thigh, maybe slide that left foot further out as you come down. And then bring this back up to center. Turn left, deep bend your left knee, touch your belly to your thigh, you can slide that right foot further out. And then come back up to center to that straddle. Turn right, bend deeper to the right knee. And as you sink down this time, left heel to the floor, point the toes up toward the ceiling. And then bring it back up to center. Turn left, deep bend the left knee, belly to your left thigh, point the toes of the right foot toward the ceiling here. And then again, come back up. One more time, turn right. Bend deeper to the right knee, belly to the right thigh, stay low here. And this is good enough. You can stay like this. Point the toes, left foot toward the ceiling and hold. Maybe press your knuckles toward the ceiling as well. And if you want to play with your balance, go ahead and lift your right heel, come to sitting on that heel. Now you can set your hands on the floor if you need to. Maybe just keep this arm bind and try to bring your torso toward upright. And if you want to move into that archer configuration, separate your hands. Right hand's a fist behind the right ear. Right elbow pulls back. Left arm reaches toward the front. That hand's in a fist as well, like it's holding the bow. Now draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Open your chest. Try to keep your spine tall. Press into your feet to hold your balance. And keep breathing here. Now everybody take an inhale. And with the exhale, both hands down. Walk your hands forward around that left foot. And at the front of the mat, pull the right knee to your chest around your spine. Now take hold of the right knee, round this all the way up to standing. And give yourself a moment just to feel this out. Press that left big toe. Get yourself stable. Keep your spine tall. When you're ready, hands to hips. Right knee lines up with the left. Moving to dancer. Reach your right hand back. Find the inside edge of your right foot. Now once you got that grip, kick into the right hand. Line up the knees. Stay tall. If you're going to go further, left arm high, palm forward. Further still, kick into the right hand. Lean forward against the tension of the kick. Be sure that right knee lifts if your torso comes forward at all. Draw the right shoulder forward. And just take this as deep as you can still control. Keep breathing here. And then slowly, with an inhale, let's bring this all the way upright. Hands to hips. Right knee lifted for just a moment. And then go ahead and set the right foot down next to the left. Now when you're ready, with an inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, fold this all the way down. Inhale, lift up halfway. And with the exhale, set the hands down. We're going to take this into crow one more time. Palms down, grip the floor, lift your heels, bring the knees to your arms. Belly pull in, hips high, look forward, lean forward, go slow. Leaning's plenty. If you want to take it further, keep leaning to lift your feet. Big toes to touch, heels toward your seat. Take that to where you can. Now, if you want the lopsided crow, come down to all fours. Now this time, left forearm to the mat. Left elbow stays to the side. Bring the left hand to center. That forearm's diagonal. Slide the right hand back, elbow directly over the wrist. Keep that elbow pulled in. Look at the left hand, tuck the toes of both feet. Lift your knees, bring your hips up high. Walk the feet further and get your hips up as high as you can. Right knee to the right arm. Left leg squeezes to the right. Use your inner thighs. Maybe lift your left foot. And then one last time. Go ahead, step it back, fly it back. Take it through one more vinyasa. Once you find your down dog, let's take it to half pigeon. When you're ready, inhale the right leg high behind you. And with the exhale, just bring that leg forward. Right knee behind the right wrist, right ankle somewhere behind the left. Now bring the left knee down, flatten the left foot behind you. Pull the left hip forward and keep it in line with the right. Keep your hips squared to the front. Sink your weight straight down. Now there's a bunch of variations of this shape. If you really want to go deep, you can stay lifted and take one of the back bends. And if you want to just chill out entirely, you can come down to the elbows, maybe melt down all the way. Now, I'm going to cue a more active version here, but this is all optional, keep in mind. If you're interested in that, keep your spine lifted, but then tuck the toes, left foot behind you. Try to hover that left knee. Left hip pulls forward, both hips still sinking down. And we're going to move this toward a twist. So the left hand comes just inside the right. Back the right hand up, maybe to the right knee, maybe to your right hip, but keep your spine extended and bring your gaze over that right shoulder. Now pull your chest open to the right side and just breathe this. Now slowly, if you open this up to the right side, go ahead and bring both hands forward. And if you decide to come down, bring the hands in close enough to the right leg so you can start to move. We're going to take another pose. So pull your belly and back the hips up over your left knee. Keep the right knee forward, but bring it to the center of the mat. We're going to cross the legs here and take this into Gomukhasana. So bring the left knee forward and press it into the right. Get the feet out as wide as you can in relation to each other. And as the legs are squeezing, bring yourself down to sitting between your heels. Now just feel this out here. Try to get both sit bones down to the floor. And if your hips are tight, if this isn't going to work, just sit with the left leg extended forward, right knee crossed tightly over the left. And you can just stay with the leg bind. This is good enough. Now if we want the arm bind, we'll take the lower half first. So right arm across your low back, palm facing away. Now with your left hand, reach back and find some grip. You can hold the wrist, maybe the forearm, maybe reach to the elbow. And use that left arm to draw the right shoulder back. Open up your chest. You can fold this forward. I actually recommend you keep this upright and keep your chest open. Now, if you want the full bind, and this is not for everybody, you can bring that right hand up between the shoulder blades, and then the left arm comes from above. Find that grip somewhere in between. Now, if you do have that full grip, left elbow toward the ceiling, right elbow toward the floor, if the full bind's not happening, don't worry about it here. It took me 3 years to touch my fingers doing this, all right? Now, I do recommend you just stay upright. Keep your chest open, let the shoulders stay back. If you want to fold it forward if you can, you can. But just take this into the set of stretches that's accessible to you today. Keep breathing here. Take an inhale here. Now with the exhale, just release whatever arm bind you're in. Hands down behind, lean back, untangle your legs. And then just cross the ankles, roll forward your hands, step this back to down dog. And then we'll take all that to the other side. So once you're ready, inhale your left leg up high. With the exhale, bring it forward. Left knee behind the left wrist of the ankle, somewhere behind the right. Now flatten your right foot, straighten your right leg, pull the right hip forward, keep it in line with the left. And here, sink your weight straight down. Again, the hips are square. Look for some of that stretch on the left side, out of the left hip toward the glutes. Now again, lots of variations to play around with here. You can make it more extreme and take that deep back bend if you want to go further. You can always melt down to the floor, take it to where you need. Now if you want that more active version we did on the other side, keep your torso lifted, tuck the toes of the right foot. See about hovering the right knee, but pull the right hip forward and keep both hips sinking down. And then moving toward that twist, right hand just inside the left. Draw the left hand back, maybe to the left knee, maybe back to the hip. Bring the gaze over the left shoulder. Keep the right hip pulling forward, both hips sinking down. Just breathe here. Now, I know this isn't the most restful variation of this pose. There's nothing wrong with chilling out, keep in mind. take an inhale. And with the exhale, turn back to center, both hands in front of your left shin. And then once you're ready, once the hands are in place, just pull your belly and back your hips up over the right knee this time. Left knee stays forward, but bring it to the center of the mat. We're going to cross the legs again. So pull the right knee in directly behind the left and bring the feet out wide. Now as your legs are squeezing, come down to a seat between your heels again. Now if your hips are tight, you can sit this with the right leg extended forward, left leg crossed tightly over the right knee. But get both sit bones down and just hold here for a moment. This is plenty. Now if you want the arm bind from below, left arm across the low back, palm facing away with your right hand, find some sort of grip. You can hold the wrist, the forearm, maybe reach all the way to the elbow. And you're drawing that left shoulder back. Open up your chest. I do recommend staying upright, but you can bring this forward if you want. If you want the full bind, left hand up between the shoulder blades. The right arm comes from above. See about finding that grip somewhere in between. And again, if you can't get the full bind, don't worry about it. It takes a while, especially if your shoulders are tight at all. But keep your chest open. Look forward, keep breathing, and just take it to where you can. Now from wherever you are, take an inhale. And with the exhale, just release that arm bind. Set your hands down behind you. Lean back, untangle your legs. And this time, bring yourself all the way down onto your back. Now once you're down, draw your knees in your chest. Squeeze everything in for a moment here. And we'll take a supine twist variation here. So go ahead, bring your left foot down to the floor and then cross the right leg over the left. Now squeeze your legs together tight. Think of this as an eagle bind. And then arms out to your sides, palms open toward the ceiling. Keep your shoulders down. Now bring your knees down to your left side. Tuck the left hip underneath you. Keep the legs squeezing, left leg pressing the right leg down, and bring your gaze right. Now look for the stretch in the outer right hip toward your low back. Breathe into this. Take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, just bring this back into center. Go ahead, lift your knees. And reverse across your legs. Right foot on the floor, left leg over the right. Squeeze your legs together tight. Now again, keep both shoulders down, but tuck the right hip underneath you. Bring your knees down to the right side. Now the legs are squeezing, but keep that right leg pressing that left leg toward the floor. Now just breathe here. Look for the stretch in the outer left hip toward the low back on this side. Take a deep inhale. And then with the exhale, bring this back into center. Go ahead, lift your knees, uncross your legs. And then draw your knees into your chest side by side. Squeeze down for just a moment. And take this into happy baby. So reach between the knees. Take hold of the outside edges of your feet. Stack your ankles above your knees. Pull down on both sides. And as you're drawing this down, press your knees to the floor outside your ribs, but press your feet up into your hands at the same time. Keep that tension working both up and down. Flatten your spine, sink your tailbone toward the floor. And you can rock this side to side if you like. If you want to take it even further, you can extend your legs out against your grip. And then from wherever you are, take a deep inhale here. Hold on to this. And with the exhale, just let everything go. Extend your legs out fully. Open your palms at your sides. And let your eyes close here. Let your body settle down to the mat for a moment. ready, start to move again bit by bit. Fingers and toes, arms and legs. When you're ready, with an inhale, reach your arms long past your head and just stretch this out for a moment. And then draw it all back in. Bring your elbows toward your chest. Pull your knees up as well. And just take your time here. Find your way up to a comfortable seat. Now just ground yourself into the mat. Stack your spine. Bring your hands up to heart center. And then take a deep inhale here. Hold on to the top. And just let everything go. I thank everyone for joining class. Namaste.